Congratulations on becoming one of the newest members of the Tulane community. Our community is proudly committed to building a cohesive and collaborative environment that fosters mutual respect and understanding, and this environment is enriched by our differences. That's why Tulane's policies regarding equal opportunity and discrimination are so important to discuss and understand. Tulane has a strict zero-tolerance policy on harassment, discrimination, or criminal acts of any kind. In this video, we'll talk more about these policies at Tulane so that we can all work together to foster an environment where everyone feels that they belong. We will also learn more about some of the laws that govern these policies, including Title IX of the Education Amendments Act, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, and the Clery Act. These policies cover everyone affiliated with the university, from students to faculty and staff, including residents, postdoctoral fellows, and teaching assistants, as well as third-party affiliates such as contractors.
Title IX is the federal law that prohibits sex discrimination in educational institutions and programs. Title IX includes protections from harassment or discrimination on the basis of sex, including sex stereotypes and characteristics, gender identity and gender expression, sexual orientation and pregnancy or related conditions, as well as sexual harassment, sexual assault, intimate partner violence, stalking, and sexual exploitation.
Title VII is a federal law that prohibits employment, harassment, discrimination, or retaliation based on the protected class, such as age, race or color, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, religion, national origin, disability, marital status, or any other legally protected class, including one's military or veteran status.
The Clery Act is federal legislation that requires universities to report campus crime data, support victims of violence, and publicly outline the policies and procedures they have put into place to improve campus safety. The criminal offenses that must be reported under the Clery Act include murder, negligent manslaughter, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, motor vehicle theft, and arson. Also, sexual offenses including rape, fondling, incest, statutory rape, dating and domestic violence, and stalking. Universities are also required to report hate crimes. The Clery Act defines hate crimes as any of these criminal incidences motivated by bias or prejudice based on race, religion, gender, gender identity, sexual orientation, ethnicity, national origin, or disability. There are also additional offenses that are considered hate crimes when they are motivated by bias or prejudice, including destruction of property or vandalism, intimidation, larceny or theft, and simple assault. Additionally, the Clery Act also requires universities to report drug, weapon, and alcohol offenses.
If someone discloses to you about an incident or potential incident of sexual harassment or discrimination, in most instances, you are required to share that disclosure with Tulane under the Clery Act and Title IX. All employees, including student workers such as resident assistants and teaching assistants, are required to share these disclosures through a care connection, with the only exception being staff at the counseling center, health center, and clergy. Make sure you know if you are an employee with an obligation to share any disclosures, and you should communicate this obligation with your coworkers and students so they are able to remain in control about how much information is shared with the university.
This is why faculty are asked to put the Title IX language in their syllabus so that every student knows of their rights and your responsibilities under Title IX. That being said, letting an individual know about this obligation too quickly in a conversation can also have the effect of making them feel like you're uncomfortable with their disclosure, and even worse, that they shouldn't tell people about what happened to them. While every conversation will be different, it's important to try to strike a balance between offering an empathetic listening ear and letting them know that you will need to make a care connection so that they are offered supportive services. You can make a disclosure using the concerns form at tulane.edu/concerns. For questions regarding reporting crimes or other issues, you can contact TUPD's non-emergency number at 504-865-5381. You can also contact the Title IX office and discuss the matter in hypothetical terms if you're uncertain whether the information you've received triggered your reporting obligation. You can speak with a member of the Title IX team at 504-865-5611.
A care connection will result in case management and victim support services reaching out to any impacted students to offer supportive services. A care connection can also result in the Office of Human Resources and Institutional Equity reaching out to any impacted employees to offer such supportive services. You may feel that you're betraying the person's trust or taking control away from them by making a care connection. However, the individual can choose whether or not they accept outreach and support from the university. For students, the Office of Case Management and Victim Support Services can help victims on their recovery journey by providing emotional support, information about resources and options, and connections with supportive services. They can also assist victims in navigating reporting and adjudication processes. Supportive services can also include safety measures such as mutual no contact orders, housing and academic accommodations, health and counseling connections, legal referrals, assistance with the reporting process, including criminal reporting, and ongoing support throughout the recovery process.
The Employee Assistance Program, or EAP, provides professional and confidential services to help employees and family members address a variety of personal, family, life, and work-related issues. EAP benefits are free of charge and easily accessible through New Directions, a 24/7 live answer toll-free telephone number. Supportive services can also include unlimited telephonic, clinical assessment and referral, daily living and convenience services, up to 3 face-to-face counseling sessions, and legal and financial consultations.
It can be difficult to know what to do or say to help when someone you care about has been harmed and is struggling with hard emotions like confusion, anger, blame, sadness, fear, or helplessness. But there are ways for you to give support. First, remain calm and focus on actively listening to what the individual shares with you. Respond with empathy and offer physical comforts such as a seat, a cup of water or hot tea, snacks, or a box of tissues. Some examples of empathetic responses include, "I'm so sorry about what happened to you." "It was wrong, and I'm glad you felt comfortable telling me about it." "What can I do to help?" And "What happened to you was not your fault." While it can be natural to want to ask questions to learn more about what happened, try to limit your questions to those focused on the victim's needs. Some examples of questions that help clarify the victim's needs include, "Do you feel safe right now?" and "What can I do to help?" Do not make any statements or ask any questions that could be interpreted as blaming or judging the victim. Finally, be sure to take care of yourself. Providing support to someone who has been a victim of sexual harassment or violence can bring up a lot of difficult emotions for you. Most of the resources listed on the All-In website, such as case management and victim support services and the Counseling Center, offer support and services to all students, and resources like the EAP offer support to all employees.
Tulane is committed to resolving all allegations of misconduct in a timely, fair, and thorough manner. We will make reasonable efforts to protect the privacy of participants in accordance with applicable state and federal law. However, this does not mean that we will or can keep the matter confidential. If you or someone you know was harmed by a Tulane employee or a third-party affiliate, you can contact the Office of Institutional Equity, referred to as OIE, which oversees cases involving employees and affiliates. OIE serves as a neutral fact finder for the university when a concern is brought to our attention. We are responsible for gathering all the facts that are available surrounding a concern. We then evaluate the facts and determine whether an individual or individuals engaged in conduct that violates Tulane's equal opportunity and anti-discrimination policies. After that, we work with our campus partners to ensure appropriate action is taken to stop inappropriate conduct, prevent a reoccurrence, and cure any effects that may have occurred. Not only does OIE provide educational and investigative services, but we also offer alternative resolution services through our conflict resolution and restorative practices programs. These programs are designed to encourage our community to take a positive and proactive approach to resolving conflicts and disputes and focus on community and restoring relationships. They create opportunities for employees to have difficult conversations, to be heard and better understood, and to build a common foundation for moving forward outside of a formal grievance process. To learn more about Tulane's formal and informal resolution options, please contact our office. You can find the policies by visiting the HR website at hr.tulane.edu. You can also contact the Office of Institutional Equity, our conflict resolution specialists, or your HR business partner.
The Office of Student Conduct is responsible for responding to matters involving student misconduct. Formal options involve the university charging the student with violating our Code of Student Conduct and conducting a formal investigation and resolution process. If the student is found responsible for violating our policies, they will face formal sanctions. They may also need to report this violation to any other schools they apply to or professional organizations, such as the State Bar Association. Informal options may involve the person who harmed you meeting with the staff of the Office of Student Conduct and/or entering into a voluntary agreement to take certain steps. An informal resolution will not result in formal findings or sanctions, such as suspension or expulsion. To contact the Office of Student Conduct, please call 504-865-5516 or email conduct@tulane.edu.
A core value at Tulane is an inclusive community that supports an environment of equity, diversity, compassion, respect, and opportunity. Our motto is non sibi sed suis, meaning not for oneself, but for one's own. We have a duty to care for one another. Tulane University affirms the rights of all individuals to access an academic and work environment free of violence, harassment, and discrimination. Please know that we are here to serve Tulane's community. We hope that you will assist us in our efforts to create a working and learning environment that is free from discrimination and harassment for all. Thank you, and once again, congratulations on becoming a Tulanean.